this is my new home, southwest Gulf side of Florida, far from Pennsylvania. I had to leave the position as a result of the pandemic. I am an individual who's immunocompromised. I'm a breast cancer survivor. And so central office, my bosses, they made what I perceived to be an extremely knee-jerk decision and pulled me out of the facility to work in central office. It's fair to say that did not sit well with me. It is hard for me to be in a position where I can't see my men, be in the compound, and do the things that I love to do the best. And so I fled.
It's always a goal of mine to be a superintendent, but under normal conditions, if I can say that, I didn't picture myself jumping right into the fire like that.
It was difficult to see her go. She had a long career in corrections and she retired. Superintendent Eson picked up the pieces, took the reins, took the baton from her, and we're moving forward. Feels good to see progress after a couple of years moving forward. They're in the process of preparing our tranquility space, our relaxation space out here. It's been a long time coming. So this week is the final countdown. We have the grand opening coming on Thursday, and I can't express the emotion that I feel just seeing it come to life, from the start of things to the back and forth with management and the union to the pandemic.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard here. I think at one point there was like over 250 men sick. A lot of staff was sick. Some of my friends died. It was really scary.
For quite a bit of time, I would say that they fought really hard to keep our unit intact and like keep the use of it for what it was intended. And that lasted a long time until I think that we didn't have any other resources or options available. So we ended up using this as like a quarantine unit.
It affected everything from morale of people that are part of the project all the way to just the project just not even starting in general.
It was like a series one after another that every time we got over the hump of one obstacle, we got hit with another obstacle, and then we got hit with another obstacle. So every time that we felt like hope might be coming up, hey, we might be able to make some progress now, we might be able to get back to normal, something else happened that knocked us back on track.
And it was easy to think that, hey, maybe we wouldn't pick back up.
I kind of knew in the back of my head, I kept kind of telling everyone, because everyone are always very negative about it. Oh, yeah, see, I told you so, the project was done. You know, you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. It's over. You know, you hear it from other staff members. Certain staff members get a lot of gratification from it because they've been saying it from the beginning. They're like, haha, I told you. It finally, it's over. But I kept telling them, like, listen, it's not over. But nothing was happening.
Yeah, I started to get nervous. Like, wow, Mary Rose is gone. The unit's being used for COVID. We haven't had any meetings. Like, we had a lot. I knew that it was going to be really rough.
Superintendent Lamas was kind of our biggest driving forces of keeping the group, eye on the prize kind of. But the things that we've been seeing recently are starting to build us back up again.
The excitement flipped really quickly. Because that's all we really need to see. Because we're all constantly hearing things and being told things and then nothing would happen. We're used to that. But as soon as we see something, it gets people excited again.
So we're in go phase, we're in go mode. This is countdown mode. And I'm just saying, we're gonna make it work. It's going to work. It's definitely going to work.
So right here we have a cage that we're housing the unit's knives in. Usually call it a shadow box. Eventually we'll have hopefully some shadows on there where we'll have the knives instead of being in this. But the knives will stay secured behind this at all times unless they're being utilized. This one alone, I mean, what would you say that's like 8 inches by itself? It's a very, very large knife. I mean, you can do a lot of damage with this. So having this on the unit in a prison, most people would be like, you're crazy. Why do you have that?
In my face and say, talk.
I'm really excited. It's been a long time coming. COVID slowed us down over 2 years, and I'm looking forward to finally getting this unit up and running like it's supposed to, and can't wait to see who gets selected.
I want to make you guys aware of something, and I want to be clear when I said this. Some of the people employed here, your fellow colleagues, weren't here when you all begun the journey. They just kind of heard the whispers and murmurs, and then they began to think in their own mind or depict whether or not this is something they would be in support of or against. Many have chosen to be against it. I want you all to ensure that what you do every day is continue to be committed. Don't worry about the naysayers. They don't want you to be successful. I want you to be successful. You guys can be successful, but you have to do it together. Remember that. That's all I got for you. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. You,
Can
young
we have a
man, we
word
talk
with
with you, please. Kindly step over here. Hey, young man, how are you?
Get right to it.
Drum roll. Oh, man, you've been selected.
Oh, man.
Little
Praise
Scandinavia, here you come.
Praise God.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Because this project was built with a research component from the beginning, it's important that the people who live on Little Scandinavia look as much like the general population here at Chester as possible.
What's happening, big fella? How are you? Outstanding.
So the men on the unit were selected using a lottery process. Subject to certain security exclusions, people were picked based on the amount of time they had left on their sentence, so that the population of Little Scandinavia mirrors the population of the larger prison here. This allows us to draw strong conclusions about the effect of the unit on the staff and on the incarcerated
About to
people.
get better. Congrats.
Congrats, man. We'll see you later here.
So it was nice that we know we're going to get a mixture of guys that they could be honor block type guys, or they could be guys that have a history of misconduct. And I think it's important for us to have that kind of mixture of different behavior levels, different competency levels and stuff like that, so that as they come over here and we work with them, we can show a little bit more realistically, like if you're in this kind of environment and you work with staff in the capacity that we're going to be working with them, the kind of effects that come from that. So I think the fact that it's random and just a mix of everybody is really, really interesting.
Okay, good afternoon. So I know today, aside from being May 3rd, it's an outstanding day, an outstanding afternoon. Tell them why.
You've all been selected to participate in a Little Scandinavian Prison Project. Give yourselves a hand.
Så vi veldig fornøyde I den forstand at vi har fått en gruppe som kjempevariert med tanke på hvor mye tid de har igjen, hva de sitter inne for, og så videre og så videre.
The move-in day is tomorrow, so go back to your areas and weed your stuff. Cell content is big over there. Thank you.
I've been incarcerated for 19 years. Just the lifestyle, the fast money, the acceptance, things like that. And I just got caught up,
Being able to be in a cell by yourself is huge. Like sometimes you need that space to focus on what you need to do. And being in here, as you can see, it's like it's a limited space that you have in terms of of moving around. So imagine two adults moving around in a cell together. That's the size of a bathroom.
All right, guys, get in place. Your contact officer will escort you to your resident.
Yeah. This guy's with me.
You got history.
Yeah. I chose my
Your
guys.
contact officer will escort you to your new resident.
I want us to go over the cell check form so we can make sure everything is cool in here.
All right.
The bed and the mattress and the frame, all of it is good.
Yeah.
Your cell button, the cleanliness of your cell. I had it cleaned myself, so I know it's clean.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. It looks awesome. Yeah, it's different.
So far, something we gotta get used to.
Absolutely something that we got to get used to. But it looks really, really interesting and good opportunity, you know. Yeah, the cells are amazing. You know, clean
Floor, max towels,
fridge. You know, I don't know. I don't know how to act right now. I feel lucky. Feel lucky right now. You know.
Well, okay, so I'm better than okay. I'm outstanding. Looking good, looking good, looking good.
Most impactful is just the space. You know what I'm saying? One man cell, I can be able to get my thoughts together. You know, because hopefully by the end of the year I'll be out of here. So it's time to think and stuff like that. You know, ponder my thoughts. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been through this ringer quite a few times. I was 32 when I came in, so almost 20 years. So I need a change. I'm not a spring chicken no more.
Mattress should be brand new. Fresh sheets, blanket, pillow. You know what I mean? So, and of course the main thing is you buy yourself. Everyone by themselves. You know what I mean? You're actually going to be able to have other guys in your cells as well. So at least one other guy, or max one other guy over here, you guys want to sit down, watch, talk, whatever. The only thing is the door just got to be propped open a little bit.
So you'll get one right now, but then when the rest of the shirts come in, we'll give y'all another set of pants and another shirt.
All right,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Shirts.
There are some guys that you immediately recognize that are a little bit more of the outgoing, loud, emotional type at times. So you know that we're going to be running into some situations as contact officers and as counselors and mentors where there's going to be times that are going to test our patience a little bit. But I think that is what proves the value in this, is that when we can operate in a certain way and we can kind of break down those barriers and work through those kind of issues, I think that's really important.
Det å kunne få muligheten til å komme over hit når de åpner avdelingen og få den invitasjonen til å på en måte se avdelingen med egne øyne er jo veldig, veldig stort.
Good morning, everyone. I began my employment with the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections 32 years ago as an officer, okay? 32 years ago, that's a long time ago. Never could I have imagined that as an employee with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, a correctional employee, that I'd have the approval of being able to sit down with my men, you heard it, my men, and share a meal. You know, we've heard people talk about, why are you doing this? We all know what jail is supposed to be. You've got to be kidding me, right? We lead with humanity and compassion here at Chester. You're going to see a change in culture. You're going to see the impact, the change in culture, the rippling effect, and not just within the walls. I'm speaking wellness within the men, lessen stress, living healthier, reentry tools, things introduced to them that they truly need to be successful, to move on beyond these walls and do well and not come back.
I think one of the things that the visit to Sweden affirmed for me is, while there are some significant differences in terms of society and culture between Sweden and the United States, there are many, many things that are similar. At the end, we're all people, we're all human. And I think that there's that commonality is something that's also transferable here in the United States in various correctional environments.
Oh my goodness, I actually saw the unit when it was first starting. The change and the transformation has been incredible. I saw when the first few residents were chosen to participate and how much that created hope in their lives and joy in their lives. And it is something that I think when we look at treating people like human beings, we can only benefit society, as a whole. And this is something that we should be expanding to corrections all over the Commonwealth, but also throughout the country.
My impressions are, this is great. This is what it's about. I mean, I firmly believe that public safety comes through providing opportunities for people to change, and an environment like this with dynamic security and the normalcy, this is where it's at. This is outstanding. Well, I think change in any regard is difficult, right? Any regard. But I think as it relates to prisons, again, there's a lot of cultures involved and a lot of decision makers, maybe elected officials, that have gotten into office with a very tough on crime standpoint, and they might see something like this and think that this is a little soft on crime, and maybe we're not taking into account victims. And again, I think it's just so important that we educate lawmakers, decision makers, correctional leaders to know that environments like this are actually good for victims, good for victim services, because these guys will pay child support. They're going to pay restitution. They're going to do those pro-social type things, as opposed to an inmate that's just, hanging out in a cell and not doing anything. We're not going to get much productivity out of someone like that. So I really think it's important that we just continue to educate and see, and then of course we've got to measure it. We got to be able to see the data that shows that this is the right way to go.
We get the border from shop, right? Like
online?
Yes, every other week.
My first impression is that this is a significant improvement on an awful system, because the United States is the largest incarcerator of human beings in the world. We represent 5% of the world population, but 25% of the incarcerated population, and the majority of whom are poor and black, or disproportionately poor and black, particularly from cities like mine, Philadelphia, that is one of the highest incarcerating cities in the world.
Right in. First time Mom's ever been in a prison cell.
Nice little room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV.
Good. Yeah, closet.
My refrigerator.
Very nice, son.
Yeah. Got chicken and stuff in the freezer.
Well, this makes me feel a lot better as a mother, because I know, the guards are very nice, and The inmates are very nice. Everybody's just nice here, you know. And they have a nice, clean place. Yeah, I figured this was real tiny, but it's a nice sized room.
Keurig, you know, that we've been using. That's my
Yeah.
thing every morning.
There you go.
Nice hot cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
We just got this, the Ninja.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I just bought a bag of fruit with strawberry, mango, pineapple, and banana, frozen fruit. And we just got that yesterday.
Wow.
So now I can make me a smoothie.
There you go.
Never had one before. Never had a smoothie.
Put a little yogurt in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it all. I'm gonna try it all.
All of it. There you go.
I can't stop.
It's supposed to be real healthy. That's nice.
4 stoves.
Oh, I am so grateful that this idea has come to Pennsylvania, because in Pennsylvania we suffered a long time with over-incarceration and rotating people. They would get out and they would be back in over and over again because they weren't given the opportunity to first be treated humanely while they're inside and learn skills necessary to make it and succeed outside. So I think Chester is doing a really good job with providing those skills, some education, some training, but also on a human level. So treating them with humanity and giving them the skills they need to be successful is what we need for safer streets, better communities, stronger families, and a stronger Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Right now, I'm just filled up with emotion. I'm just happy that we accomplished what we set out to do. Feeling really grateful for the officers that participated in this, their contribution. I'm just filled up with joy right now.
So when did you move in?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
This is yesterday.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is my house. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. How was
Got
it
the
compared
fridge.
to-
What's that?
How was it compared to the last one?
Way better. Way better. Single cell is the main thing. Being by yourself is a huge deal. You know, you don't have to have somebody sleeping above you, using the bathroom next to you while you're sleeping. You know, that's huge. So, but other than that, it's great. You know, you got the locker. You can look in there if you want.
Jeg tror på det, og så må de bare være tålmodige. Og så må det være rom for å feile og prøve på nytt.
Ja, men jeg tenker jo også at dette prosjektet har på en måte forutsetningene for at det skal gå bra. Og så håper jeg liksom at de ansatte bruker tid på ikke bare fordele arbeidsoppgaver, men diskutere de ulike problemstillingene de kommer overfor, sånn at de på en måte kan ta gode avgjørelser.
12 and 22. You got 2 upstairs.
Yeah, this was the first night I slept alone in about 10 years. And as you can see, I put up my foot locker. That's like my nightstand. All these paintings are paintings that old cellies of mine have done throughout the years. Over here we have the desk, my tablet, art box, typewriter, and it's just a freedom of space. You're not sharing it with another man.
I just was talking to some of the gentlemen out there, and I asked them, how was your first night? And all of them said tranquil, beautiful. You know, not having to worry about, you know, you can get up in the morning, you don't have to step around another man, you don't have to wake somebody up for count and stuff like that. The freedom that you have being by yourself. Then to know that you can come out, go get a nice hot cup of coffee or a muffin or whatever, anything that you may have. So the guys that I spoke to just recently, they love it. They just looking forward for the rest.
Well, what somebody was saying yesterday, as soon as the guys came over, just looking at the block, it changed. You could see them how they were looking, and it just brings you down. Like if you're a little uptight, just seeing it, the scenery, the furniture, the color coordination, you know, having access to ice machines, being able to wash your own clothes, looking at the kitchen. It sort of gives you a sense of peace. Like
energy level, yeah.
Yeah, it changes from the hustle and bustle that goes on in the regular, you know, institution. So when you go over here, you know, you're looking around And it has an effect, just the visual. It has an effect on it, you know. It has a major effect on it, in my opinion. But
I agree.
You know.
Something that is interesting about this unit that we can do is like we don't need to have everything
govern ourselves.
We don't need a stack of papers this big that says every little step of everything we need to do. Is that as a team we use our own discretion and we work together as a team. I think having to be a little bit more organic like that is going to be more comfortable for us than always having to be like, wait, we have to do A, B, C, D, E, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is actually a unit where each of you can take the initiative. If you see that something works for you, you might want to say something too. This is how I do it, and it works like this for me. Because like Tompkins said, I'm not going to be on your backs like that. I want it to work for you. You guys do the security part of it. I've never been an officer. So I want what works for you to, you know, for you to continue to do what works for you.
We're just gonna go over a few things about your employment. Do you have any skills or anything that you think that you could bring to the unit?
I mean, as far as the kitchen, I got my serve safe.
That's huge. That's always a plus. Serve safe certified, and that's awesome because not everyone has those skills.
Absolutely.
So you might be able to really teach somebody else something as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you think that's something that you feel most comfortable in, the kitchen?
I personally think I wouldn't mind it. Be like fun, yes.
And that's important. Right. We
That's
need that.
different, you know what I mean? Yeah.
They say that if you enjoy your job, that it doesn't feel like you ever go to work.
Yeah.
Right. So that helps. Okay. I mean, I think you are a valuable resource here, Calvin. Thank you.
Wow.
So if
In the long run, as people leave Chester and return to the community, we'll become interested in understanding how this particular unit impacts their reintegration process, whether or not it changes how likely they are to be rearrested or how they're able to return to the community successfully.
That changed drastically, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
I don't even feel like I'm in prison right now. So it definitely puts you in a better state of mind. I think I felt like I was already ready for the streets, but I didn't think it could get any better for me. Last couple of days, I feel great. I felt good about myself, but now I feel great. Like this place definitely gives you a better state of mind, peace of mind. You can come in the cell, in and out anytime you want. You don't feel confined, or you don't feel no threat. Like you don't feel like you're in prison. And I've never felt that way being in prison, so it's a good thing.
My little brother has been in prison in New York. He came home when he was 18. He had juvenile life. He came home when he was 18. He didn't know how to adjust to being on the street. So he violated parole 2 days later just to go back because that's all he knew. And as soon as he got back, he stabbed somebody and then they extended his time. Now he don't come home until 2027. People wind up being institutionalized, being in rough jails because they don't know how to interact with regular people. This gives people a chance to learn how to reintegrate into society. This whole atmosphere over here is completely positive. You can't expect somebody to change when there's always somebody negative around them, pushing out negativity. How can you say, oh, okay, I'm gonna be positive, but he's negative, but I'm supposed to stay positive? You can't.
Okay, guys, real quick. So you know this is only your second day here, the second full day. So it's trial and error for you, just like it's trial and error for us. So we just want to make sure that you understand the rules as we come up with them. We're not flying by the seat of our pants. There was just a clarification that needs to be made. Once the block opens from 6:15 to 8 p.m., the entire block is open. The kitchen is open. You can make your phone calls, fry up an egg, use the microwaves, cook a quick breakfast, make coffee, tea, whatever it is that you need to make. The moment work lines are called, if you work, you go to work. If you go to school, you go to school. Those of you who do not have a job, you will report to your cell. Your cell door will not be locked. It will be open. But because you don't work and because you're not in school, you cannot linger on the housing unit. Your contact officer can call you out of the cell, mingle with you, play a game or two with you just to interact with you. That can happen. But we just need you guys to understand that this is not a chill spot if you're not working or going to school. We're trying to make all of you productive members of society. We're teaching you guys how to normally live outside of here and back into society. Thank you.
You know, in my opinion, went pretty good. For me, you know, the rules, the one rule they said you had, if you didn't have a job or if you weren't doing anything, you had to be in your cell from a certain time, from 8 to 3, which was, you know, I don't think set up for, you know, to be mean or to lock you in. It was, you know, to pretty much, you know, to say you have to have some responsibility to, you know, be able to have the privileges here. So I agreed with it, you know, and they're working on getting us a job anyway, real quick.
What's that? Yeah, I mean, just breathing for it.
Yes,
As far as I know, none of them played, at least here, you know, with COs before. So, I mean, they seem very comfortable. So, you know, I mean, a lot of laughter. It was a lot of fun. Guys watching, everyone was around. There wasn't no one like hiding in other parts of the yard. Everyone was kind of there watching or either playing. So, I mean, I thought it went pretty well. Like I said, I think they're quite comfortable with it. Yeah, I mean, already, they just moved on.
You closer to the net than me.
I made one.
Easier.
I made one.
First time ever actually interacting with the contact officers, and never would have seen this in any other prison. You know, it was fun, it was relaxing, enjoyable. This I would have never thought in a million years I would have seen something like this.
That's you. I got over you.
What you got, Pop?
My role is to continue on with the visions of the people that sat before me. And that was the dedication that I made. I don't need to go to Norway or Sweden to believe in the concept of making people better so that when they leave or they parole or they max out their sentence, that they become better citizens. Do I think it's going to work? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we ever could get on the same page as the correctional system abroad. Maybe we could, but why not try it? My name is Gina Clark. I am currently the superintendent at SCI Chester. Hey.
Good luck.
I can't sign as soon as you walk onto the unit, it's just a different vibe. It's quieter. It just has a sense of peacefulness to it. The other housing units that we were on, although it was commissary day, you know, there's a lot going on, but you can see just in the difference between going to one unit and then coming here. It's just different. It just feels different.
Oh, you don't even notice it anymore.
You know, if just the environment that people are put in, if the environment alone gives someone that's incarcerated a different perspective or a different focus, if just that alone makes a difference for them to be successful upon release, then why not?
It's been a long road because if you look at it, in that process, we've dealt with 3 different administrations. You had Superintendent Lamas. This is her baby. She started it. Superintendent Isan. And now you have Superintendent Clark. One of the biggest changes that I've noticed is $30-something thousand was spent to make a Zen garden and area for us to utilize. There was even a barbecue pit put out there. And once the new administration came in, it was ruled that we can't utilize that because another fence within a fence have to be put up so we can utilize that. And other things are being taken away. We were supposed to use cutlery, knives. They were going to be tethered to the wall where we can utilize it. They're gone.
Yeah, we only saw it that one day when we opened. They took them away to have them engraved and to have the tethers installed on them so that we could utilize them in the kitchen, and they never came back. The assumption is, behind closed doors, they were like, hell no, and then took them away. I get it. It's a big stretch, you know what I mean? Especially with the new administration, everyone coming in, and they're like, oh yeah, they're gonna have knives in the kitchen that, well, first they're gonna have a kitchen on the block, and then also there's gonna be knives there. It was probably just no, absolutely just no.
It's been a little rocky road. We have a new administration, totally all new administration, so it's a little difficult only because some of them came from bigger institutions than this one. And just like this one, security is the priority, but we have to find a way to mesh the two with regards to Little Scandinavia.
We need something to scoop that with, and the one with the holes and then the one regular. We have now microwaves. Has to be bolted to the table now. The first two administrations didn't see that a microwave had to be welded, and I was told that reason being, I can pick up a microwave and hit another inmate in the head with that microwave. So this is the reason why they bolted it.
You know, corrections has, I call it like a handbook or directions to it. Everything that we do is written by policy. It's black and white. So it's kind of like trial by fire. Here's the directions. This is how you're supposed to do things. Good luck. To me, that's what it seems like. So even though there are written directions and policies, you still get thrown curveballs every now and then. There's always something the way a person interprets this or they interpret that. And, you know, you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing by your staff and by the inmates that are in your care.
Vegetables are tremendous, Mr.
People are always complaining about, oh, they get cooking grease, oil, vegetable oil, all these different things, of course, that could be used as weapons. But we try to tell them that, yes, anything that in this prison is a weapon, that is a weapon. But we're trusting them not to utilize that as a weapon. You know, you give a human that trust piece, you give them the trust, then maybe, they will not do that, right? You know, I mean, give them that responsibility. And we haven't had any issues. And I think that says something. And it's almost a year now, knock on wood, nothing has happened like that over here. We've had fights and assaults on other blocks in that time, but not over here. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean.
Correctional officers in general, in my opinion, they fear change. You do what you know and you go off of past practices. So when something new and different comes along, it just meets opposition. I think a lot of people here are opposed to it because they don't really understand it. And a lot of them want to treat the men like lock them up and throw away the key and put your foot on their neck and treat them like they're not human and they're less than human, which, what are we doing? Because then those guys are going to get out in our cities and be our neighbors, and now they have this perception of correctional officers are horrible, my time in jail was horrible, but then they end up coming back and recidivism and all that stuff. But for some reason, nobody wants to say, hey, let's try something different.
All right, have a seat. So what we're looking to get this week?
How about
peas and carrots?
I would like the whole green beans.
Whole green beans.
Next, I would like the chicken breast.
The opportunity for the guys to get fresh food is a huge, huge, huge deal. We've implemented the shopping program through Shop, right? They're able to pay for their own food, order what they choose, and prepare on their own. Some of these gentlemen haven't had access to a stove in a really, really, really long time.
Can you give me a agave sweetener for my smoothies?
We've been able to see them really grow in the kitchen. Their engagement with each other has grown because of the kitchen.
What's the plans with the chicken?
Well, I'm gonna bake them. You know.
Are you gonna bread? Do you have a breading or something?
No, I'm not gonna bread it.
You're just gonna roast it?
Yeah.
I got you.
Since we
Roasted
have the-
veggies.
Yeah, since we have the new
The air fryer.
I have 14 more months to my minimum, so hopefully I make it on my minimum and I get to go home. So all this is been a blessing. It's going to help me, you know, to go out. You know, prior to even coming here, I thought that I was okay to go out, you know, but faced with some more normalcy, I started to realize that I didn't really have it all together. You know what I mean? Just some things just were forgotten, you know? And so I started asking the guys for help. And not only did I get the help, but you started getting, you know, socializing, you know, communicating, getting a bond, you know, it wasn't so much of me watching my back against them, but we were getting closer, you know, and you start to let your guard down a little bit. And I didn't even realize that, you know, when you're in prison, you know, you got to put your guard up. You got to watch what's going on around you. And so here, we can let our guard down a lot, you know.
In comparison to a regular general population housing unit, I feel like there's definitely more of a sense of community on the unit. From the responsibility, like general responsibilities on the block of you know, cleaning up after yourself and respecting other people's property and stuff like that. You just see everybody kind of working together. There's not a lot of, you know, bumping of heads and personality clashes. Everybody kind of understands what the purpose of everything is, and they buy into it. And I think even on the simple level of it's all single-celled, they have that peace of mind to have their own private space where they can kind of escape from the stresses and anxieties and stuff that naturally come from being incarcerated. That sets that kind of foundation for them of they can focus on the positives of everything else because they don't have to worry about things that you would normally worry about on another block. All right, so we are going to start this up in a minute. Let me just get this up here.
Well, let me get in the chair right here.
Yeah, it leans back very aggressively, so be careful.
All right, yeah, I don't want to lean. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
Yeah. I don't know why that one is the guest chair in my office because it's a liability. I'm gonna get a lawsuit. So I'm gonna smack their head off. Yeah, so I back in May started the transition to become a corrections counselor instead of just a corrections officer. Part of that was, I believe, kind of sparked by this project. All right, so first thing we're gonna go over is pretty much all the information dealing with your criminal history. Yeah. And it's gonna start from the beginning with like the first drug arrest and stuff. Like what led you into that lifestyle? What led you into deciding to, and with kind of the backing of the information that I had from the project, I felt like it was the best choice for me to be able to be a little bit more intimately involved with the individuals that I work with to figure out ways to help prepare them for success. And I feel like for me, personality-wise and the way that I see myself doing the job, I get a little bit more fulfillment from what I do now, being able to work hand in hand with, you know, correctional plans and programming and determining how to help somebody in their transition from being incarcerated back into society.
The neighbors, big time drug dealers, right? I had a toy set, like a car set, like cars and all of that. So mom would buy me them little cars and I would play with them. On the steps, I would play with them. Nice cars, Benzes, BMWs, and things like that. But the same cars I was playing with, my neighbors was pulling up in them. So I was seeing it in real life form. You know, seeing everything, the lifestyle. I was like, all right, I'm playing with these cars, and I was like really looking at them and fascinated by these toy vehicles. And here it was in real life form. They was appearing right on the sidewalk. So I started seeing that, and it was like I was growing up into that.
tror jag det var runt 20 olika fängelser i både Asien och flera länder i Europa. Och var man än kommer någonstans så finns det saker som man tycker att det här gör de faktiskt bättre än vad vi gör i Sverige. Till och med i Irak såg jag saker som det där borde vi göra även i Sverige. Så att det finns alltid något att lära, något att med sig hem, vart man än är någonstans.
Oh yeah.
Like you have. Where are you? Is that an idea from her? Yes.
We got that from the, wasn't it you had that in the library, right? Yes, yeah. We got that from there.
It's very neat.
See, the furniture is more softer.
Yes, it is. And even over there as well.
Yes. We have pool tables.
Själv personligen så gillar jag till exempel att man har såna här öppna avdelningar med 2 våningar och loftgångar. Och stora ytor för inte att röra sig på golvplan.
So this is what a normal cell looks like down here. This is one of the mentors.
I Sverige har ju kulturen varit singelcell åtminstone i 60-70 år nu. Idag är vi ju konstigt nog på väg till i motsatt riktning i Sverige. Vi har en sån överbeläggningssituation idag på fängelserna i Sverige att jag tror att det just idag är runt 1800 klienter som bor alltså i dubbelrum i Sverige. Trots att vi hade byggt några sådana, men vi får sätta in våningssängar i vanliga bostadsrum i vanliga celler för att de ska få plats helt enkelt. Så.
And they can have anything they want on their accent wall. He wanted to wake up to inspiration, so he chose to have this inspiration. That's my favorite one right there. So what?
So what?
Om de börjar testa här nu med singelrum så börjar vi liksom testa oss tillbaka till dubbelrum på ett olyckligt sätt. Så jag hoppas verkligen att vi kan bygga oss ur våran kris i Sverige och återgå till singelrum.
Good morning, good morning.
Hi.
How is everybody? This is Ken.
Nice to
He's
meet
the
you.
man.
Nice.
He's like, what?
Ja, det är ju bara övervägande positivt som de intalarna säger. Att de känner sig mer lugna. De får ju... Ja, det är ju också en stor grej. Alltså deras sysselsättning. Att de får liksom lära sig laga mat nu. De får köpa varor. De får tvätta sina egna kläder. De berättade ju när de hade fått strykjärn här på avdelningen. De strök ju allt. Liksom, underkläder, allting. Men de hade aldrig strykit innan. Liksom, så att de får ju lära sig saker som är viktiga på utsidan sen att göra.
Yes, this is definitely something that the state of Pennsylvania and the U.S., we need this.
You do.
We need this because this is something that give men a purpose.
Okay.
Get them ready to go back.
När vi pratar med flera stycken som jobbar här på den här avdelningen så refererar man flera gånger till någon sorts arbetsmiljöundersökning som har gjorts som visar att kriminalvårdare har en väldigt hög självmordsgrad. Alltså man begår självmord i mycket högre grad än andra yrkesgrupper.
Mr. is also one of our lifers over here. He's a mentor as well for the unit.
Looking nice. Man har också mycket kortare medellivslängd. Jag tror att de säger att de har medellivslängd runt 58 år till den stilen. Vilket är ungefär likvärdigt med krigsveteraner som kommer tillbaka. Så mycket PTSD-problem och så.
These are our sound panels. We have more coming, but these are the sound panels.
Deras egen teori är i alla fall att man med det här arbetssättet och att man är flera kollegor som har blivit tillsammans i ett arbetslag, ett team, gör att man får en betydligt mycket mindre stressfull miljö och arbetsdag. Och på så vis kan må bättre och förmodligen motverka de här tråkigheterna som verkar finnas i deras arbetsmiljö idag.
But thank you for coming. Glad to be here. Yeah. The dynamic between us officers especially and of course our close partners such as Tompkins as a counselor and CC that are a direct line of our unit management team, CC or unit manager. I truly really feel that the group is extremely cohesive.
That's where that used to be.
We look out for each other. We work extremely well with each other.
Nothing. So this is ours. And we do it for staff wellness.
Okay.
Just to have an area for them.
Yep.
You know, they can come and kick back and relax. And we learned how important it was when we were there. Decompress, right?
Because there was always an issue, and there still is an issue outside this unit. If I were to go onto a unit to help somebody, instead of them taking it as, oh, thanks, you're here to help me, it's, oh, you don't think I could do my job? And they get it's a very negative thing to try to help people around here. It's taken as a negative thing. You're doing too much, this, that, third. When we're in there, and let's say I have to do a round on the unit, and someone were to tell me, like just a small thing, hey, Ski, Can you do a round? 10-4, no problem. If I were to do that with, like, it seems such like a small thing, but another staff member, like, hey, you know, it's do you mind, you have to do a round, it's time to do a round, they will blow up on me, or they'll get real upset. You can't tell me what to do. It's not that I'm telling you, it's more that I'm asking. And that doesn't happen here. Like I said, it's a small thing, but it seems like a small thing, but it happens a lot. So, hey, Ski, can you do a round? No problem. Hey, Ski, or hey, Ellis, or I could ask them, hey, you mind? Like, I'm gonna go eat. You get this done? No problem. And it's awesome that we have that dynamic and that trust and work ethic between all of us. So I'm glad we have that.
I just found eggs are expensive right now. I just found a really cool trick to like save them so you have individual portions. Kind of tricky. If I do feel like, oh, I have a lot going on today, can I pass off a little bit to you? Someone's there to help you. You don't carry so much stress when you're walking out of the door. And I definitely think I feel positively impacted from working on the housing unit. Ask my family. I can play whoever loses.
Tidligere resultater fra forskninga tyder på at både de som jobber og soner på avdelingen opplever den som veldig annerledes enn andre avdelinger på Chester. Dette handler om stressnivået blant de som på jobb. Det handler om personlige relasjoner, både mellom de ansatte og innsatte seg imellom, men også mellom de to gruppene. Og betjenter som beskriver en veldig annerledes arbeidshverdag enn det de hadde tidligere.
So it's important to keep in mind that Little Scandinavia is still a unit inside of a prison, and that comes with certain challenges. What we've observed in the data from the first group of men who moved on to the unit is, despite all of that, the rate of misconducts and serious misconducts has been much lower than we've observed in the general population. And that's in spite of the extra opportunity and risk that comes with the unique elements within Little Scandinavia.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. There's positive sign, not just for the residents, but for us as well. There's a lot of positive. And of course, if it's positive for the residents, that means it's to be positive for society. It's to be positive for the citizens that pay our payroll, you know what I mean, through their taxes. We're hopefully going to provide them with somebody that's not going to commit a crime and hurt somebody else. So that's important. Yeah, good. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing.
On this unit, it's incredible. I don't feel that anxiety and that stress when I walk in the door in this uniform. So I believe that it is working. Extreme. I feel better as a human. I feel more positive. I go home with positive energy for my children and my wife, my friends. Like, I wanted people to do better. I'm pushing people to do better. I'm pushing myself to do better. So in that regard, self-satisfaction. I get to come to work. I can work out when I'm at work. I can make my own food at work now, which is healthier options, not the slop that they service down there. Sorry. Some of the food just isn't a good option. It's not healthy all the time. So being able to order what I want to order, what I would make at home on my day off, be able to come into work and make that food is just incredible. These guys are still convicts. Things can happen. You can talk to them crazy and they might want to punch you in the face. It's possible. But if you approach them with respect and talk to them like they're human beings, then the chances of that decreases so much.
In the long run, we hope to better document and measure how Little Scandinavia has changed over time, and also how different it is than the standard conditions of confinement in Pennsylvania and elsewhere. In the long run, we hope to be able to tie that to outcomes outside of prison, so how people perform when they return to the community with regards to reintegration or committing new crimes.
On August 24th of 2022, I was released from prison. Probably the scariest moment in my life. I didn't know what to expect because I lost a lot of family and friends along the way throughout my time. So I was sent here to the Harrisburg CCC. This is where I'm usually at if I'm not working. As you see, this is my bunk, even though, sorry, I just got off work last night, and this is my cabinet. Yeah, it's hard to believe that I can fill my clothes and not have to wear prison browns anymore. I can put on what I want to put on. So, unbelievable. The last couple months of my time in Chester were wonderful. The program, Little Scandinavian. Never in a million years would I have thought that I would become close to a correctional officer. And we would sit down and have real serious conversations, you know, about life in general. Matter of fact, I gotta do this. Okay, wear cowboys hat in prison, dear fellas, but you all know that I love my boys, so, you know, it's just hard to believe. You know, I can't put it in any other words. We're somebody. Just because we made a mistake, we're still a human. And that carried out with me. I spoke to CC quite a few times since I left here and stuff, just to let her know how I'm doing. And I'm grateful for the people that helped me, because it changed everything that I thought about myself going in to where I'm at now. That you can change if you're given the right surroundings and people to help you.